Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the cargo trailer. This is my 16-foot enclosed cargo trailer. And we're going to install these lights. They're actually these rock lights from MicTuning. They sent me these. They've partnered with the channel for this video. And so a big shout out to them. But these are a really cool, this is going to be a cool addition to the cargo trailer, because traditionally these rock lights are installed like on your off-road vehicle, maybe your truck, your Jeep, side-by-side, ATV. We're going to do it on a trailer and just show you kind of all the versatility that these lights have. The cool thing with them is they're multicolor, they're app controlled, so you can change the light pattern, the color, all with the app. And this is the 8 LED kit. So we're going to get this opened up, kind of go through what's in the box, what's included, and then start laying it out and showing you what we're going to do to install these in the trailer. Now this trailer already has a 12-volt battery installed. I have probably, I don't know, 10 or so videos I've made of this trailer as I've built it out. You know, I've got cabinetry, I've got workspaces, tool benches, storage for all my gear. This is primarily like a dirt bike type of a trailer, hauling dirt bikes, ATVs, things like that. So over the last year I've kind of built this out. So take a look down in the description below for a playlist of all the videos if you're interested in more details on the build of this. But we're going to talk about getting these lights installed, kind of the layout, and then of course the finished product when we get it all done. So let's get into it. All right, we got everything boxed. Let's go through everything you get here. So this is the 8-piece or the 8 light set. These lights are super heavy duty. There's a really hard, I don't know if it's glass or really hard plexiglass, but it's textured, so it's going to resist cracking, scratching, things like that. And it's got like a metal housing to it. So this thing's like legit as far as holding up to abuse. And then each light has a length of wire. Now four are kind of designed for like the front of the vehicle, 4 for the rear. So four of the wires are longer than the others. So you just want to be aware of that as we start laying everything out. You have these mounting pads here as well. So if we want to, you can mount these behind. You can put these pads behind to kind of reduce vibration or noise depending on how or where we're going to install them. And there's also a set of these more curved pads, so that way if you want to install it, like let's say like on a curved bar, roll cage, things like that, you have mounting options there. The mounting hardware that comes with it are a threaded nut and bolt with Allen wrench. I'm not sure if we're going to use that or not. Just kind of depends on how we're going to mount it to the underside of the trailer here. And then we have our control box here. Our control box is this is all waterproof, so I can mount this underneath the trailer, under the frame, to exposed areas, and it's going to stay working just fine. I don't have to worry about moisture, water, dirt, debris. That's all fine there. So on this side of the control box we have this is kind of like our power and switched lead, and the harness that it comes with, it can be disconnected. So if you can see here, I can just disconnect the wiring harness to this. So this is our controller here. On this side is the kind of the power wire, our control harness, our switch. So for example, it has a lighted LED on-off switch, and then on the other end we have our power wire. We've got a positive and negative wire. It is already fused, so we don't have to have a fuse. Also, this isn't pulling a lot of power. This is only a 5-amp fuse. So this is probably a 14-gauge wire. So if you need to extend these wires, you can. I'm probably going to have to extend the wire for the power lead just so it can fit a little better. I've got a little more room to work with. And once I get all that hooked up, I can just simply run this down underneath the trailer, connect it here. There's O-rings on these, so that way they can just really securely connect, keep water and dirt and debris out of it, and you don't have to worry about that. And then all the rest of these are just the other 7 or 8 total LED lights. So what I want to do is I want to get all these kind of taken apart, all stretched out, and then just kind of go through the game plan when it comes to where and how we're going to install these on the underside of the trailer. All right, I have the lights all kind of stretched out here. The longer ones here, so if you see the longer ones are on this side, there's 4 of them. They're almost 12 feet. They're probably about 11.5 feet long. And then there's 4 shorter ones. They're just about 6 feet long. And then here's so the positive and negative that go to the battery. And then I have my switch on the end here that I need to mount. And then this goes into the other side of the control, into the control box here. And so now that I have these kind of laid out, I just need to kind of really plan out where I'm going to put them on the trailer. Now they're going on the underside of the trailer. To give you some reference point here, here is my battery. This is in the top left corner of the trailer. So I'm going to run my power wire actually to my fuse. I have a fuse block here to run my accessory. So I'm going to run a positive and negative there. I'm going to mount my switch probably somewhere up here by my workbench on a piece of wood. I'll mount it. And then I'm going to run the power wire down through the floor. So I'll just probably drill a small hole down through here and go right down in and be able to run that wire to the control box. And then the control box will probably be somewhere under the floor here. And then the wires for the lights will run, you know, the front ones will run this way. These longer cables will then run for the rear lights. And then we'll try to put equal amount on each side. So 2 short ones on this side, 2 short ones on this side. Then over here, 2 long ones on this side, 2 long ones on that side. And that should give us 8 lights. For reference, here's the outside of the trailer. So it's just a 16-foot long cargo trailer, and it's 7 foot wide by 7 foot tall. I do have an onboard charger I can plug in from the outside right here. But here's kind of a look from the outside. So we're going to go under. These lights are going to be shining down underneath the trailer. So I think it's going to give it a really cool like underglow effect. So, you know, this isn't something that's like necessary. This is just kind of something for some added effect, some added lighting effect for the trailer. When I'm out using it, I could even have, you know, some of the lights shining down while I'm rolling down the road on this thing. So it's going to have some cool lighting effects. So I'm going to get them kind of laid out in the position where I want to put them, kind of start mapping it out. All right, I'm figuring out the location for the switch and then where I'm going to run the battery wire right here. So what I figured out I'm going to do, I'm just got this little piece of wood here. I cut out this hole, which is the same diameter as this switch, and I'm going to mount it with these 2-inch screws right up to the top of this here. So it's going to sit like that. I'll paint this the same color as the wall, this kind of gray color, but I'll have the switch right there. That way I'll be able to switch on and off these rock lights right there. And it'll be close to my battery. So I think that's going to be the best solution. So I want to get this figured out, and I want to get the wires hooked up to the battery, and then I'll drill through the floor, run the wire down to the control box, which will be right under the floor. All right, so this is a 3/4 inch hole. I had to notch out a little side inside the hole just to get because this has a little notch in it. But otherwise, a 3/4 inch hole will get it pretty close. All right, so now I'm going to mount that right under there. That'll be my switch. I'm going to hide these wires around the back there, and then this will go to our battery, and then this will go down through the floor. So let's get that done. All right, there we go. We got our cable there. Now I'm going to use some of these they're just called cable clamps, cable organizing clamps. You just get these at the hardware store. I'm just going to use that to just get this up so it's not dangling down behind this so you can't see it. So it's just going to go over to the side here, back against the wall where I have a lot of my other wiring, and then I'll be able to very easily then just connect to my fuse block over there. My fuse block, I'll show you that in a second, but I need to put battery terminal adapters that these have, that it comes with it. I need more of a spade connector because it's going to slip into the fuse block. This is too wide to fit on there. Actually, the negative side's fine. The positive side will be, I just need to put one of these on the positive side. New spade connector on here to be able to connect to my fuse block, and then I've got my negative. This is the factory one that was included with this. This would be helpful if I'm going straight to the battery. It comes with like this on both sides, but I'm going straight to my fuse block, and I'll show you exactly how this is going to work on my fuse panel here. All right, here's how I have it all wired up. Here's my 12-volt battery down here, but I have my battery going to this fuse terminal so I can hook up all my accessories here. So I have this, I have these the rock lights. Here's my positive wire coming into the positive side of the fuse terminal, and then the negative's right here on the negative. If you're just going right to your battery, just hook the positive here, negative there, and you're all set. I just need to add the fuse. I just need to add the fuse here to activate that. I'm not going to activate this circuit until it's all hooked up, ready to go. I just don't want anything to short out, but everything's all hooked up there. Now all I have to do is see right here in front of the battery, you can see the floor down here. The hole needs to be as wide as this terminal here so that this can go through and hook into the control box down that's going to be mounted underneath. So I'm just going to drill that right in front of the battery here. I'll fill it in with some silicone. Okay, here's the end that goes through. So feed that down through. So we'll have probably, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 feet that I can move this towards the back of the trailer, so that way the controller's going to be able to allow the rear lights to extend all the way. So that's going to go all the way down like this. All right, under the trailer here, here's actually where that's where I came through the floor. This is actually right here's the front of the trailer. So I've come right at the front here, come down in, and wrapped the cable around this beam here, through here, and then I'm just following an existing wire. This is for the brake lights and stuff, and it's just going. Luckily, there's actually some grommets and holes through the frame that I can run the wires through. You can see that little grommet right there. So I'm mounting the control box is hanging right there. You can see the cables hanging down. That's where I'm mounting the control box. I want to get it towards the middle and as much as possible because I got to run lights to that side and both sides, front and back. So I'm going to get the first light put up in this front corner here, and then kind of middle, and then 2 further back as we kind of go along there. All right, here's our control box. You can see it's just screwed into the wood. All of these lights are going to be screwed right into the wood. I'm using a really short screw so that way I don't go through the floor. It's only poking up maybe 1/4 of an inch into the wood. And one of these is going to be for the front ones, so the front 2, so 2 will go to the right side, 2 to the left side, and these are the rear ones, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. So I really just need to run those, screw them up into the wood, and connect them. All right, here's how I'm mounting them. I'm just using a 1-inch wood screw. Got to use that rubber pad behind it because the cable is right behind the back of the light, so it has to be able to come out this way, or you can have it come out the other way. So I'm just mounting it right up into the wood. It's only getting screwed in 1/4 of an inch into the wood. Pretty stable in there. And then I'm just running the cable back to the controller. So I've got the 2 front ones on the right, just needed the 2 front ones on the left on this side. All right, I just hooked up the front 4, so 2 on each side of the front right here, and I just turned them on, and I want to see how we're doing. So it looks like it's just cycling through the colors right now. I don't have the app set up or downloaded, so they're actually pretty bright. So those are just 4 lights going on right now. Those are just 4 lights. I don't have the wires really tucked up underneath. I really just have the 4 connected. I'm going to worry about zip tying, kind of tucking the wires up once I get it all kind of wired, make sure everything's good. But those look pretty cool. Those look awesome on that. Probably finish up the rest tomorrow. It is getting kind of late out here, and then I'll kind of walk you guys through the process of what I did with that, and then we'll see how they look tomorrow evening when it's dark. All 8 lights flashing. Alright, I'm just getting these back 2 lights ready to go. These are the last 2 I have to install. So we've got to put the pad on here. The wire just slips down into that slot. I can't have it to the side, but I'm going to do it from the bottom like that. And I'm just going to set these screws in there. If you're going into metal, you'll want a longer, probably like a self-tapping screw. This is just a wood screw. I'm only going into the bottom of the wood floor. You can see once that's in there, it's only going about that far into the wood, which I don't want it going in very deep because I don't want it to go through the bottom. All right, we got that connected. This light's going right up here. All right, so we got that mounted up there. Just have one more to do at the end, and I'll just run that cable. Okay, I'm under the trailer. This is facing the front here, and this is where I have my control box, and then where the wires all connect here. What I use is I use these little cable clips. They're just a little 3/8 cable clip. You just have a little screw. Luckily, I have wood to screw into. It made it a lot easier than if I was having to go into metal. So I just got zip ties, zip tied it all up, screwed up, screwed in my control box here. So I just tried to zip tie and secure all the cables to the bottom of the trailer, and then where they go through here, they go through these grommets through the frame, and then I just have them kind of zip tied up out of the way there. So that's probably the most time consuming part, is just routing the cables, getting them out of the way. You don't want to cut them, you just want to kind of zip tie the excess up out of the way. I have some wire loom where this passes under the frame right here. I have some wire looms just so that's protected, so rocks, dirt, debris that's flying under the trailer won't hit that. And then over on this side, I just have some zip ties. I have some wire loom right here where it passes through the frame. There's actually no protection for the cable. I just want to make sure that it's protected going through the frame. So I have that wire loom right there. Okay, here's the front left one. It runs under the frame here. I've got the cable secured up against the floor, and then it goes under there where it meets all the rest of the cables there. Filling up this hole that I made in the floor of the trailer with the silicone. Keep the water and dust out. All right, with all the lights installed, ready to set up everything, we just go to the MicTuning app in the App Store, we download the app, and then we can open it up and start controlling the lights. All right, we have all the lights installed, all the wires are all organized, everything's tucked up underneath, it's all good to go now. It's dark outside, and so I'm going to turn on the light here. So you turn the light switch on here, and then we open up the MicTuning app. So you need to have the switch on, and then I'm going to select my LED lights here. All right, let me show you how this works. Let's go out and look at the lights. This is kind of the yellow version here. Let's see if we can. They're pretty bright here. So if I go onto the app here and I just kind of select, I'm on the solid color down here at the bottom. So if I select, let's say red, or if I move my finger around the color wheel, it'll change the lights. Down here at the bottom, there's like a lightning bolt where if I move that, let's see here. If I move that, I'll be able to, it like flashes like strobe. So if I move that lightning bolt, it'll like really start strobing. I don't know if I like that, but then another cool thing here is I can also dim the lights with this slider bar right here. So I can make them real, like, I can turn them, let's see, almost all the way off. They're barely on right there. And I can increase the brightness right there. And then these options right here are where it would like scroll through. See how it's just scrolling through the different colors? This is and I can change the, looks like it stays on the color longer with this. So that's pretty cool. And now this is something I haven't done yet, but you have the option, you can load music onto your, if you have music loaded on your phone, you can load it into the app, and then the lights will kind of sync with the music and change with the music, which is kind of cool. See, so I can add colors. So I can add a kind of like a white. Add that color to the color options. Hit OK. So then I have my saved colors down here at the very bottom. I can go kind of a go-to color on those. Anyways, I'm pretty impressed with the lights. I think they're very bright. They really illuminate the bottom of the trailer. This is a great option. Let's say you have an RV, a boat trailer, enclosed trailer like this. You know, there's really tons of options for these types of for these lights. They really weren't that hard. Now this application, you know, I screwed all these to the underside of the floor, so I was dealing with wood. Screwing into wood's a lot easier than metal, but you could really do it into, you know, most vehicles. And really have this as kind of an accent rock lighting, accessory lighting. Really makes it this thing stand out. Pretty happy with it. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found this informational or helpful or informative when it comes to these rock lights. I think these are great lights. The build quality seems great on these. If you're looking for a set of these, take a look down below at in the description for a link to these lights. I think this is going to be this is just a fun addition to the trailer. You know, it's not very common that you have underglow lights on a trailer, so it's just something fun to use. Also, I think it's going to have some function as well. When I'm out using the trailer, I can turn on the white light, and it really will kind of light up the ground underneath the trailer. Really provide a little extra lighting. And then also you can turn up the colors, the strobes, you know, to the music and things like that. That kind of will make it fun. So anyways, guys, we'll hit that thumbs up button, leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.